What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to K&M Tactical Discourse. We are excited today. We're going to be going a little bit different direction. Maybe not as controversial, maybe even more controversial. Depends on how you feel about Elon Musk. We are extremely excited to be bringing on our first guest, and we're just going to chat. Now, this could be 20 minutes. This could be 4 hours. No, I'm kidding. Not 4 hours. I just got done with a 6-hour
No,
live
no.
stream, and I don't think I have that in me. But we're going to talk about Elon, and that involves Tesla humanoid robot, Starship, full self-driving, Doge, Boring Company, going to Mars, existential crises, the Trump and Elon drama. There's so much to talk about. So hopefully you guys enjoy it and enjoy our first guest. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and honestly, I'm super excited to have her here today, because it's gonna give us an opportunity to finally like pick the brain of somebody else other than just back and forth banter between me and this guy. So hopefully this leads to a window of opportunity for maybe some other viewers that are interested in getting into the show and maybe or the podcast show. But
All of the
I
above.
think it'd be really cool. All the above. I think it'd be cool to have not necessarily like-minded minds. I think it'd be really cool to have someone who maybe even disagrees that will create that conflict. I
Yeah.
think that'd be really cool. But yeah, guys, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and welcome her. This is Martha.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
I know that you and Kaz have like followed each other quite a bit, mainly probably because of his Cyberlift channel. But like, have you guys ever
Mhm.
had like an exchange or like talks like this in this kind of environment? Is this something new for you guys?
Yeah,
Yep.
definitely.
Oh, that's cool. So we're all newbies to this. This is gonna be cool.
Yep.
Um, so before we like start geeking out on everything, do you want to share a little bit about yourself and like what you're enthusiastic about regarding like maybe Elon Musk or Tesla or like even with your new car?
Yeah, so I'm originally from Virginia, from the backwoods, I call it, so you'll hear my accent change a bit. I
Uh-huh.
have a thick accent for Texas sometimes.
Oh, wow.
I yeah, especially when I get mad. Um, I don't know where, like, my love of cars started, but I've just always loved cars. The first car that I thought was just beautiful, it was a Hot Wheels that I had, and I didn't know what it was, and I described it to my husband later, and come to find out it was a Countach.
Oh, yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah.
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 Yep.
Yeah, I just I'm upset that I gave that away, but I'm like, I gave it away to a kid, so it's fine, it's whatever.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
But,
cool.
yeah, and so, like, the Viper was my next love, and I just love them, and, I had a '96 Jeep Cherokee that died on me super fast. Then I had an '02 Jeep Wrangler. I loved it. It was called Tank. It was wonderful. I had it 10 years.
hell yeah.
During that time, my husband got me a 2010 Fit. Just adored that car. It was so awesome. It was dependable. I would fly through flooded areas and nothing bad would happen to that car.
That's
Uh,
sweet.
The Honda Fit, right?
he wrote yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, okay, it's a cool little
all
car.
all 108 horsepower. I drove it like I was in an Andretti, and it was
Yep.
great. Um, I was actually thinking about this. So I had the Fit, and I had it for 11 and a half years, but in about the middle of that part, I saw that they had, Fit EVs, and I wanted one so bad.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it was, like, what I loved about my Fit, the style and everything, but it was an EV, so it was, like, perfect for me. But it was only in California, and it was only for a couple years, and so to me, EVs weren't a thing that I could get, you know? It was like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm in Texas, and I'm in" let's be real, I'm in BFE, Texas, in West Texas in the middle of nowhere. And so, I was like, That'll never happen," and the HRV came out, and I was like, "Okay, that's a little cooler. That's awesome." My Fit doesn't even have Bluetooth, so let's get something going. And then my husband talked about Elon and Tesla a little bit, and I was like, oh, I didn't really know that much. I'm like, oh, cool, EVs, let's do it. That's cool, but that's gonna be all California, New York. That's not gonna be here. It's not gonna be
Mm.
realistic for us. And I saw Elon talk about something. I went, oh, he's kind of weird, but whatever. And then like my husband had me, well, we would sit down and watch live the premiere for the launch for the Y. One, fell in love with the car. It was like, that
Yep.
is the spaceship look, and I love that look, and it's an EV. Perfect. I love it. And then I fell in love with the way Elon is, because he did not look like he was overly scripted. He stuttered, he stumbled, he laughed.
Yeah.
He was a real human on stage, you know? It wasn't just this stiff presentation. So I was like, I can get behind that. That's the real dude. You know, I have problems reading. I have problems speaking sometimes, especially reading aloud. I can't do it hardly. So that's when I gained a lot of respect for him. And then my husband and I agreed when we had a showroom open up here, because Lubbock's a fairly big city. Then we'll order a car. Um, so it was December 21. We were like, you know what? We're tired of our cars. He was driving the CRV, I was driving the Fit. I'm like, we need, it's time for EVs. Let's just go.
All in.
So
Oh yeah.
yeah, like we're done. I got an i3 because they didn't really
Oh.
have a good deal on a
A
Tesla at that
BMW?
point.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Range extender
It was my
or
first.
just pure electric?
Oh, it was a Rex.
Ah, okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I got that, and a couple weeks later he got a Model 3. And
Okay.
that was our first one. That was Tempest. And it was a long range. And so I had the i3. I was like, "Oh, this is great." I had it for about 6 months. In that time, it was a good vehicle. You know, I was like, "This would be great for, someone going to high school or back, or someone just going to job and back," you know? Can't It's kinda awkward getting multiple people in the back because it has the doors, like this, the
Yeah.
suicide doors.
I've been in them. Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah. And I'm like, for a driver and one passenger, no problem. But I would tote some of my coworkers around, and in a parking lot, it's kind of hard to get them back there. It's all kinds of awkward. And then I was seeing all these features that my husband had with the 3. I was like, I want that. I want that. I want that. And the plan was still for us to eventually get a Y. This was just a stopgap, just a
Mhm.
filler in between. And I never used the Rex engine. Once a month, it would do an auto prep thing, I guess. Was like maintenance,
Oh,
where
yeah,
it
yeah.
used the
Just
yeah,
to
yeah,
keep it functioning, keep it alive, basically.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Great.
that used up maybe a gallon of gas in my time of having it, maybe 2. So it wasn't bad, but it was just annoying to hear it, and I didn't wanna hear it anymore. I don't think it had Bluetooth either, so we had a Amazon Echo for the car. We had all
Oh,
that
that's
stuff.
funny.
I was like, "Can I just have Bluetooth? Come on."
Come on, BMW i3, no blue. What are you doing,
I
BMW?
know. I
That's
would have thought that they
crazy.
would have had that. I
So
have
I
that. I
I
know
could
that
be wrong,
feeling.
but I'm pretty sure it did, because I remember having the Echo in there. Like I said, oh, like, I wanted all those features, and I did not feel safe taking turns in it because of the way I drive. Um,
Oh, the roll up.
yes, they have bicycle
They
tires,
are
man. It
so
is
small,
I could.
yeah.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they're
tiny.
tiny.
I was like, "Okay, it's not an unsafe vehicle, but it's just for me and my style of driving, not doesn't fit." So, and my husband wanted me out, especially after him being in the 3. He's like, "Yeah, we need to get you out of this thing. I don't like it either. We're done." And so it was June, late June, and we found the Model 3 for me. And it was a red. It was a 2.5 computer, so it looked really weird. He had a 3. He had a hardware 3, so I just had the 2.5. It was a 2018.
Oh, yeah,
It was red.
original.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, it was red, and I named it Flare, and we got these cars through CarMax, so it was, like, really easy to just, like, "Here you go, here you go, here you go." Um,
Ooh, I'd love to know a bit
uh,
more about that. Like, back in that
Yeah.
time, getting a Tesla from a non-Tesla location? How was that?
okay, it was interesting, it wasn't bad. So, it was the same with the BMW experience. With all 3 of those, we got the car with, like, no charge. That I was, like, so
Really?
frustrating. Yes!
Oh,
Oh my gosh. We had with the i3, so our very first EV, we had to go the opposite direction of my house to charge point to get some kind of miles because we weren't going to make it home. And we just,
Whoa.
yeah, we walked around for I think about 2 hours because there's nothing to do where that charge point was. And so we were like, okay, this is kind of frustrating,
And
but
that's
it's
not
fine. It's
supercharger
fine.
life. That's taking a
No,
while.
that's yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
Mm-hmm. And we would check on the app, how much? 2%. How much? It's just 1%. It's just of the gains. And we're like, okay, we have enough to get home. Let's go. We're gone. We're leaving. So it's the same with his Model 3. It didn't have much charge. My Model 3 didn't have like hardly any charge. They did not know what they were doing
totally.
with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. They were like, so how do I get in? And we're like, come on.
Oh gosh, I could imagine. Like that's got to be such a like not so great experience because at that point, like obviously Tesla was just being like implemented places, so like chargers were probably scarce, and they're probably not. They were probably not obviously being built at the volume that they are now. Like I think I have at my Wawa, I think there's like 10 superchargers
That's usually
just
where
at the
I'm charging
Wawa.
when I visit you.
Like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
It's fascinating to hear like you were eager about EVs from the start. So like you weren't a car
Mhm.
person that was like EVs, get out of here.
No. So shortly around the time that I watched the launch for the Y, I told my husband, like, I will only get rid of this Honda Fit for an EV. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's what I want. Um,
Solid.
so when we got my Model 3, it coming through CarMax, no diss on CarMax, but the there was damage to my side mirror, there was damage here, there's a bunch of damage to it, and they tried to say, "Oh, no, you buy them as is." I'm like, "I get that, but look at the photos from where we bought it from on your listing." And they went,
Mhm.
"Oh."
Oh, nice.
That's false
Yeah, so if
advertising,
you're
man. That's a potential legal
Yeah.
fight. They don't want that.
yeah, so we got it written up, "Oh, here's all the damages," and they just wrote up everything. They weren't gonna fight us on it, they were just writing up everything.
Pro
Yeah,
dealer.
yeah, so good. They made it right, and I don't blame them for that approach, but it's also like, "Oh, okay, that's kind of." Um,
Yeah.
so yeah. So in the like, back when we had the i3 about March-ish, he ordered the Model Y for me. And so it was on order, and we're like, okay, so we know it's coming. And it kept changing from between September to December, and then it was going into the next year. So this is 22 at this point. So it was like saying like January, March of 23. We're like, okay, you know what? Let's just get me in a Tesla for now, and then we'll figure it out later. We had the red one for about 23, 25 days, and we get a message going, hey, your Model Y is ready to pick up.
Oh, by the way, your car's done.
Yeah.
All
That's
right.
We're like,
awesome.
Pardon? It did say, like, it just said October, December, and now you're saying it's now, and this is the end of July. I'm like, yeah, yeah. Uh, so it was like the person who originally ordered it didn't match or dropped out of the
Ah,
agreement. So it was like,
okay.
Oh,
Bumped up the
okay.
line. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, that
yep.
makes sense.
So we're like, oh crap, we just bought this car. Now this car's ready. What do we do? Um, I don't know if their policies changed, but luckily at this time with CarMax, you had 30 days to give it back, no questions asked.
That's kind of
Wow.
wild. Actually, yeah. I don't know if that is still their deal.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think that is. I
I'm
think
gonna
it's
look
like
that up
10
on the
days
side just
now.
for fun. Hang on. Let me
Yeah,
see.
check that.
Yeah, I think they did change it, but yeah, and we had the agreement saying 30 days, and we were like, this is day 27. You're taking it back. And they started talking about the damage, and we're like, here's all the things that you were going to repair. So yeah, they took it, gave us the money, and then we turned around and picked up the Model Y.
Yeah, they
What
strict
a
it. They got more strict on it. It's a
deal.
10-day period now, money back guarantee. Must be the
Yeah,
same
that's what I thought.
condition, return to the same
Yeah.
place, any shipping
Hmm.
fees paid, blah blah blah. So yeah, that's crazy. That 30 days, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Not too long after that, I think my husband, he was doing Uber at the time. And with the 3, as you know, like older customers and customers with some disability, it's hard on them.
It is. It's you wouldn't expect it until you get somebody whose leg doesn't bend quite the same way as it used to. And a lot of my trips with Lyft, especially, oh well, both. There's like insurance rides to doctor's appointments, to like dialysis, to
Mhm.
all kinds of medical
Oh
pickups.
wow.
And you'll have
Oh, yeah,
customers that are
he had a
really
lot of that.
old. They'll also be, I had a guy that I swear was like 400 pounds, and he could not actually fit into the opening of the back seat, and the whole car kind of went.
Oh.
Mhm.
I just
Yeah, he had a couple of those, and then, like, one time, he had 4 huge oil-filled dudes in the back of in the 3.
what's the
Man.
this?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Oh no,
Apparently, they still had a great time, but, yeah, they were
that's
get
great.
to know your buddy. And so he, after seeing the why, he goes, that looks like it'd be better for customers, and then for him getting in and out, it would be better.
Yeah.
So he got a Y Performance, and he loved it. That was Pluto. So he had it for a while, and then he's like, he got past the 50,000 miles and whatnot. We extended for a little bit on the warranty, and he found a good deal on a 25. So he got his first brand new Tesla as another Y Performance. We kind of didn't have like a great experience on that one because we had to go to Dallas because that was in inventory, which makes sense. That's fine. But he gets in there and they're so busy. They're like, "Yeah, your car's out front. Next customer."
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was like, "Oh, well, I mean, this is our 5th Tesla," which is named Johnny 5, by the way.
Awesome.
Um, it's like, okay, we get the drill, we know what to do, but that's still kind of like,
And a
yeah,
major departure from the OG days of like literally rolling out the red carpet for those like first Model S
Yeah.
owners. You get like the hour tour, walkthrough, factory tours.
yeah.
I don't know if they actually still do factory tours. I'm not sure.
For buying a Model S?
No, just for having a Tesla. They stopped it during COVID and all. Ryan McCaffrey
Yeah.
covered it a few times on his pod, and I don't remember. I think you have to like request it, and like there's a queue or something. It's been a while since I've seen that.
I gotta say though, like because I actually came from a dealership world. If honestly, the less time that you spend at a dealership, it's probably for the best. I see people, or I did see people just like walk around and like see cars, and it's just like coming from like I was on not on the sales side, but I was on the service side, and hearing the salesman just like throw their pitch and then just knowing what they did to people during that time is just like it's terrible, dude, because it's like they would do like 10, 12, $15,000 above the cost of the thing, and they would just be like, oh yeah, I just got a $4,000 paycheck because I just F somebody. So it's like I honestly, I as much as I love Honda, because that's where I came from. I love Honda.
Mm.
I have two Hondas. One of them a CRV actually. It's just not the thing for me anymore. Like dealerships are just like a no-go. So the less time that I spend at a dealership, if you can just say, "Hey, here's your keys, go," I'd be like, "Deuces, bro. Thanks."
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tesla's kind of like that to a large degree, or more like the Apple Store. There's the price is fixed, so there's no haggle, there's no screw over. There's basically you're pre-approved,
That's
sign
cool.
these. There's your car, and head on. But it's nice, especially. I mean, you guys are pros, having like you said, 5 Teslas. But man, if they did that to somebody who's like coming from like a regular gas car, and they're like, "Oh, your car's over there," they're probably gonna stand next to it like, "How the hell do I get in this thing?" Like with no tutorial.
Oh well,
Yeah,
no, maybe not that.
yeah, that's why I was like, it wasn't the greatest experience. I mean, when we picked up my Luna, it wasn't still a great experience, but it was better because one, Lubbock's way smaller, way smaller. I was the only one picking up at that moment. And there was 2 guys, I guess they were service or detail or sales or something, and they're like, "I don't know what to do." So they're like, I guess you gotta look for damage or something, I don't know. So they tried. You could tell they were new at it. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit different.
It almost makes you wonder if they were maybe temps, kind of like because I did that for a little while during end of quarter rushes, where through a temp agency they would bring
Oh,
us
you're
in,
right. You
and we
did do
would
that.
peel the tape off. We would drive them from the basically the staging lot to the actual store, and then there's another team of temps that work with the actual permanent employees doing all the detail, and then another team of temps that's working with like logistics guys inside that are moving the cars around and staging them for people to come pick them up.
Dang.
Like my job was fun though because we got them off the trucks, ripped off all the tape, we're throwing the cars in the parking spots, and then we would drive them to the delivery center and then pick up cars that were getting traded in. So we're all like fighting for keys. They're like, there's the M2, there's the Porsche, there's the BMW i3. That's how I got into one actually. Getting
Keep
to
it
see
open.
and drive some of the first plaids to ever hit the ground was crazy. And actually, they were more secretive about the first Model Ys to hit than they were about Plaid or Cybertruck or anything. Like, we were so top secret, damn near secret service on the Model Ys coming in, they wouldn't even let the temps drive them.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Why?
It was, I don't know,
Did they give
it
you a
felt,
reason?
it was so extra. It was BS. It was just like this extra scandalous thing. Be like, nobody can know we have this. We have it like 2 days early. Like, bro, chill out.
Honestly, I would love if they came out with like a little hatchback. Like, I think that would be so rad, bro. Like, I have a thing for hatchbacks. I don't know why, but I think like some hatchbacks, like one of my favorites is like the Mazda 3, like the Mazda Speed
Oh
3.
yeah.
Dude, like it's so spacious. And I mean, I guess it's kind of like the model. Is it the X or the Y?
The
Is it the
Y
Model Y?
is the crossover. That would be the closest thing to a hatch.
Yeah,
A little bit
Yeah.
bigger
yeah.
though.
So like the Model Y is kind of like that, a little bit beefier, I guess you would say. And I think I don't know. I would really have to compare it. I would love. Ah, damn. Never mind. My uncle doesn't have it anymore. I was gonna say I would love for you to bring over your Model Y and see, the comparison between the Mazda Speed 3 that he did have, but he doesn't have it anymore. He wrecked it.
I'm putting a picture in
Heavy
our
foot.
pocket chat of the Cybercab. This is probably the closest thing to a hatch body that's currently in existence, but it's not the, you know, customer facing $25,000 hot hatch that's rumored that people eventually want to see. Because, yeah, I mean, there have been so many renderings of like a badass little like two-door hatch Tesla. There's so many ideas, so many renderings, so much artwork all over the place. It's just like, it would be really sweet to see that. I don't think we're
I don't
going
think
to.
he's gonna do it though. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do it. I think he got his sexy cars out, and like that's it for him because I mean he's got the crossover, he's got the sedan, he's got the semis. Even if it doesn't like have a definitive purpose to him, then he's not gonna do it. And I honestly think I watched this video the other day where this guy, I mean, it was like a short clip where he's like, "Why does Elon Musk have like all the boring jobs?" And it's like, well, I mean, if we're trying to inhabit Mars, he's got to have a machine that can burrow through the ground because we're obviously not going to live on the surface.
Yep.
He's building solar panels, which we're going to need for energy. He's got robots that will be all the labor, and then he's got electric cars because there's not going to be any fossil fuels up there. So I was just like, oh well, holy shit! Like
And you don't have
I
to worry
don't
about
follow him like
atmosphere
that.
or anything. Like you don't
Yeah,
need air pressure. Like they'll just work on the surface with nothing. No,
that's
what do
so
you think,
great.
Martha, about the push for Mars and Starship? I know we've had a lot of exchange on Tesla and FSD, and I see like we both comment on Starship and all. But like, tell me about your thoughts on SpaceX and when you got into it, or your Elon journey that led you down all the different companies.
So like I said, I started mostly with the Y launch, and I wasn't on X or anything. I might have been on X for a little bit, or the bad name. Um, and,
The dead
like,
name.
yes. And at that point, I was legit trying to use it for news only,
Mhm.
and then use Instagram and the horrible, horrible one for communicating with people. I don't have the horrible, horrible one anymore. And so then I was like, it's too hard to balance two of them, two socials, and I was mainly
Mhm.
just using the Instagram anyway. I was like, you know what, fine, whatever. So I wasn't on X. And then I remember, I think it might have been the Cybertruck launch that was like, "This is this is funny. This is really funny." Like, I could see more of the humor. I was like, "I like this." They don't take I mean, they take things seriously, but they're not too serious. So that
Yeah.
I, like, fell more in love with the company as a whole. And then my husband would tell me, "Oh, about this and this and this," and start talking about it, and I was like, "I wanna know more about all this." And I think it was January of, like, 2 years ago, maybe, that I got on X, and that's when I started as Martha Luna, and I just started, like, diving in and learning as much as I could, and then I was like, "Oh, wait, there's a rocket company too?" I've always loved space. I mean, my first Tesla was Flare, this one is, Luna, and growing up, I was jealous of the fact that, some people got to watch the Apollo missions and, even the
Yeah.
Sputnik. And I remember we watched October Boys in school, and I just loved it. Was it October Sky actually? It was October
I think
Sky,
it's October Sky. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
because you move the words around to make Rocket Boys. That's why I got it confused.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, launching rockets, that is amazing." And so I just really like fell deep into SpaceX, and I I don't know how, like, part of me is like, Mars mission, is that even realistic? But I'm like, let's go for the moon.
I know,
Moon
right?
missions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right?
I I think it is pretty realistic. What's really funny is I got a free game from, not Steam, what's the other one? Epic. And it's called Mars Mission, or Mission to Mars, or
Oh,
something
it's
like
the little
that.
colony builder one, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at this going, wait, Elon is putting similar things, like like they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, I know it's just a video game, but there's logistical things that make sense when they have, like, the art, the imagery or whatever for what the Optimus on Mars and everything. It looks just like the game.
It does.
Yeah, it
I'm
does.
like,
Yeah.
"Oh
That's
my
awesome.
gosh, he's not completely crazy, just slightly."
Just crazy enough to make these things
Yes.
happen. Like, what if we like caught the booster like Mr. Miyagi?
Dude, that was the coolest thing that I've ever seen in my life, bro. Because
I was screaming.
Oh, I
dude,
was
same.
crying and screaming like I just
Yes.
watched Apollo. It was my Apollo kind of breakthrough in a way.
Exactly, yes.
The amount of money
I
that they're
know.
going to be saving just on all of the things that are just being wasted out in the sea, or like that had blown up in space, like they're just, that's so rad, bro. It's
Especially at
like,
that
I
scale. Like it's
yeah,
just
man.
so massive.
Yep.
If I remember correctly, they just launched or caught their 500th rocket
Yeah.
Yeah.
because of Falcon.
Just
Yep.
It was
recently,
like,
like a couple days ago,
yes,
right?
yes.
And
Yeah.
they're
So it's
launching
like,
them up so much that out here in Florida, you just look east and you're probably going to see a rocket trail.
It's true.
Like they're
Yeah.
always going up. That's one of the reasons I'm so
Yeah.
glad to be
yes.
here, but I'm jealous of Texas. I can't wait because I will absolutely be bringing Starship content into one of our content spheres, however we do it, once it's launching out of the
Yeah.
Cape. Oh, dude.
Weren't you were actually God, what were you doing, Cause? Were you still in Cali when you were following like one of the you made a video on it where you were
No, that was
following actually
here.
one of the
Yeah,
Oh, it
that was
was
on
here.
the 95. That it was a section of the new launch mount that they were building out of Brownsville. I saw a freaking truck carrying a corner piece of it as I was driving past
Oh, I remember
Titusville.
that.
Yeah.
I went faster than I'll say on camera for reasons and turned around like at the next exit, which was probably 5-6 miles away. And then I'm on the way back. I gotta
Hey.
find this truck, and then I get to it and I turn
I'm
my
gonna get you.
GoPros on. And I sent it to Marcus House. He actually featured the content on his channel. Marcus House has been covering like
I remember
Felix
that
and all.
too. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I was on one of his Saturday episodes because I was like, yo, the OLM is actually being built right now in Florida. Like nobody knew that yet because we didn't see any parts coming in or out. And I was like, no, they've got construction going again. It's here. So yeah, that was awesome.
That's so dope.
Launch 5 was the first big one for me for multiple reasons. One, I was like, got to watch it with my husband here at the house, and then they caught the dang thing. And it was like the brilliance of the people working there, because
Yeah.
that was just beautifully elegant.
Like they've been doing it for years. It just
I
came
know.
right in. All the shots
I
from
love the
Tim
critics,
Dodd, the
though.
4K shots of all the different angles of it
Oh
coming in
my
too.
gosh.
Man.
Oh yeah.
All the critics that were saying that like, oh, like they always go to like all the stuff that's like blowing up or things that like Elon failed in. But the thing is, it's like, who else tried to do this shit? Like you
Right?
guys are just like, oh, let's build it, send it, blow it up, and start again. But this guy's literally like saving the space industry like millions upon billions of dollars, like just reusing and recycling the same things. Like it's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's like what 7 and 8 exploded.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And all of
And
them ended in, debris in the ocean, and the media sees that as failures. It's disingenuous because they all know that these are tests. that's how SpaceX operates.
they
They're not behind closed doors.
they
Yeah.
They
don't
just blow shit up in the open.
whether they agree with the mission or know anything about the mission with any of the projects, when they see something, they say, Elon, possibly bad, Tesla, possibly bad, any of these things, we're just going to ham it up to the nth degree.
Hmm.
And that frustrates the hell out of me.
It's
I
the
can't
rich man
stand it.
bad problem, which is what
Yeah.
sucks because there might be some people that watch this and then they hear Elon and they instantly like twist on the inside. And it's like, that's not how this should be.
I'm not saying everyone has to love him. I'm
No,
not saying everyone has to care. You can hate him and call him all the names in the book, but at least be honest and respectful about what he's doing.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I do not like Zuckerberg at all. I think he's
I don't think
weird.
anybody does.
But
In
like the
fairness.
tech, like a lot of the tech they're coming out with is good. So like those meta glasses, a lot of people seem to really like those. So it's like, all right, here they make good glasses, but I'm not a big fan of some of their
Yeah.
products, the apps and stuff. I'm not a big fan.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have a problem divorcing the concepts or the ideas of the CEO from the company when it comes to Elon.
Hmm.
Well, and
Yeah.
it's unfortunate because that's why often I would tell people if I'm ever in those conversations, like think about all the people that are working, like the engineers at SpaceX, the people building the cars at Tesla, the people doing the work. Like think about them. Don't think about the CEO that tweeted something that made you cry
Yeah.
or whatever. Like that should not
Yeah.
be how you judge your purchasing decisions. If it's a good product, to your
It's
point
so
with
true.
Facebook or with Zuckerberg or Meta, however the hell they're calling it now, a good product's a good product, you know?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
acknowledge the people that have worked on it, not your whatever ideals about the guy at the top. It's so removed from reality that it bugs the hell out of me that you can't just get that out of your head, you know?
It's so crazy that people talk so bad about him. I think it's because it's like people fear the unknown. It's kind of one of those situations, and he's just like, I mean, think about how much we've advanced since he's done what he's done. So I mean,
Oh, yeah.
it's like there's so many. I mean, there's so many like not so great moments with Elon. Of course, everybody's gonna have their bad days, but there's so many, like, to me, in my opinion, his good and even funnier times, because he's the biggest troll, him and Trump. There's really nothing to hold him against. You know, he's an honest person. He says what's on his mind all the time. You know, and then like when things fail, he kind of makes a joke out of it. Like when he was releasing what was he doing? He was presenting the Cybertruck, and the Cybertruck windshield just like completely, or the side,
Yes.
the window shattered, and he's like, well, it took like 300 before that. Like it's just like he was just like, and then he kind of just like walked it off, and it was just like, it happens.
And then they made
Like,
shirts. I don't know where it is, but I had a shirt. I had one from Tesla that had the broken glass on it.
That's awesome.
And the little wind-up Cybertruck has busted glass.
Yes, that's
Oh, it
right.
does.
Also, the
Yeah.
Cybertruck in Rocket League has a skin, a paint job skin of the broken
Oh
windows.
my god, it does.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, is out, and I think I ended up getting it.
Speaking
That's
of
great.
crazy, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on, you know, maybe think 5 years out and then 10 years out with Tesla humanoid robot and going to the moon and Mars, and even just the impact this humanoid robot that's doing crazy things, choreographed kung fu with like Tesla employees, doing jobs in the manufacturing. So you can imagine, I'll paint a quick picture of these starting to hit mass production, and Tesla is a genius of production over anything else. So
Yeah.
these are gonna come and by the thousands and then the millions. So what do you guys think? We'll start with Martha as our guest on the whole fear of jobs being taken, the impact on the, you know, economy, but then also thinking bigger to like space travel and how it can impact there.
So I will think there is some job loss, unfortunately. That's going to be that just happens with time. Equipment gets more efficient, new equipment gets made, and that's just what happens, unfortunately, for a lot of people. And that sucks. It really does suck. And I hope that there are more jobs that are made for them that they can do. One thing I like to think of, and I don't know if it really pertains, but I forget which one it is, but the second Willy Wonka, the one with Johnny Depp in it.
Charlie and the
At
Chocolate Factory, right?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the dad loses his job to a machine, but at the end of the movie, he's repairing the machine, so he has a job again. I kind of hold on to that as like, that's a possibility, and it is a possibility. There are some jobs honestly, like mine, where there is a chance that a robot could do it, it'd be more AI than a physical robot. There's a lot of discussions and things that are happening with my job, so not 10 years from now, probably. I'm using like, I made a post, I think, yesterday where I was working on an Excel, like, I needed to compare prices, and I was like, I I wanna just I wanna see the spread, you know? I want the min and the max, I don't wanna do the math. "Hey, Grok, I wanna see this in Excel, how can I do this?" And it said, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." I was like, find the max, find the min, and put a minus in between." "Oh, duh, that makes sense. Alright, put it in there." Well, I had a lot of if-thens. I need the if-thens, and it made an if-then formula for me. "Oh, okay, cool." So, it's making me more proficient at my job, which also, if you think about it, means there's gonna be less need for other people, like, we're not gonna expand our department.
Hmm.
Oh wow,
When
yeah,
one
you're
person can
right.
do the work of five.
Sadly, that puts me in a good position and not so much someone else who would be good at the job and needs it until I'm fired or I quit. Honestly, here's my hope for that. For cost plus companies or people who are actually honest and fair with their pricing, that will keep their costs down. So that means they can keep their price down. That means the prices of, like, say, cell phone or a drink or anything, it goes down because there's less overhead
Hmm.
to cover. So that would help with the, oh, how did he word it? Abundant,
The superabundance.
um,
Right? Yeah.
thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So that'll help achieve that. And the robots, I see them helping with, like, "Hey, can you we need to move this huge thing over there." And instead of getting the forklift out and taking 3 hours to do it, and for a good bit, they will be assistants, they will be aides, they will be doing the menial task, like you see him, he's picking up the battery cell and putting it down, picking up the battery cell, putting it down. People have said, dangerous situations, like, think about, like, the little robot bomb squad dogs.
Yeah.
You know, they have, yeah, and they have,
Yeah.
like, they're back, what was it, the '90s, early 2000s in TV shows, they would have RC cars with cameras.
Yep. Yep.
Well, now you can
Yep.
have, like, yeah, now you can have, like, actual robots that you can control or tell what to do something, like get a person out or look for people, and
Deep sea
if the
recovery
building's,
stuff. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
yes, and so I think at the beginning and here for a bit, it's gonna be assistant to help people. And now, again, it does suck, like, you walk into a fast food place and there's not a person, there's a computer screen, which I personally like more because if the order's wrong on my side, it's me. It
Yeah.
wasn't,
Yeah.
the person in between. I hope that there's a way that for people can find something to do to make funds, and I don't
Mm.
know what the answer to that is.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a problem too, but another thing is going to be, how are we going to do our like agriculture, like getting food, like are we going to have like synthetic meats, like are we going to have, cuz it's things are going to be grown and live differently. So it's not like we're going to have like actual lights. We're going to have like these electronic UV lights that help plants grow and things like that. So it's literally. And have we even like determined, like, is Mars just like a big rock? Is there, it doesn't have a core like ours does? Like, because
It
that's
does.
another thing to consider. It does. So I mean,
So
that's another thing to consider.
it's got a core. It's the problem. A few problems, really.
A
There's water.
volcanic core, I should say.
Well, that's the thing. So it does not have an active core. I think that's kind of what you might have been getting at. So it doesn't have a magnetic field. So Earth, because we rotate, we have all the metals in our core that are churning and rotating. And what that happens is it creates a dynamo, which creates a magnetic field that is shielding us from the sun's rays and everything. It's kind of like a big force field that comes around, like
Yeah.
magnetic north and south pole. Mars doesn't have that because Mars is one solid lump that's just rotating. There's no dynamo. There's no internal like counter rotation or internal friction that would cause ferrous metals or metallic metals to create a magnetic field. So that means that it's just getting blasted with solar radiation, man. That's why the idea of using like the boring company to dig under is going to be necessary. Like there was a show, I think it's actually just called Mars. It was a short, I think maybe 1 or 2 season long show, but they actually did good credit to showing like they had to go down. They found like lava tubes, kind of like what we would do on the moon, is to find like something underneath that can shield you from the radiation because the surface is not where it's at. Because when, like, you think sunburn's bad here, if we don't have a magnetic field, you're just getting pure solar radiation and you're done. Mars is a challenge. Mars is a big challenge. That's why I mentioned having the Tesla robots here too, because they can do a lot of these menial tasks and potentially start building the infrastructure for what we would need before we send people out there.
Once I get a thought in my head, like I have to keep watching things on it, and I'm just like, okay, like,
Satisfy
all right,
it,
that's pretty
yeah.
cool. Like, let me see. Yeah. So, and it's like, I went down a really bad rabbit hole, bro. And it started off with this, like, I think she was an Indian woman, but she is like, she's really good at predicting futures. And one of the things that she said was, by 2030, we are going to inhabit Mars. And just seeing, and I was like, at first I was like, that's bullshit. Like, that's not going to happen. Right. And then I'm just like, okay, we're catching boosters. He's building robots. We're mining. Holy shit. Like, in 5 years, this could be a thing. Like, I can totally see it. But yeah, she said 20, or did she say 2030 or 2033? It was somewhere in that line. But 2030 or 2033, she says that we're supposed to start expanding or like sending people to Mars. And she specifically said like people were being shipped out in rockets that we were already inhabiting at that time. So I'm kind of curious to see if her theory is going to be true or her prediction is going to be true. But it's going to be interesting to see. I'm curious.
What do you think, Martha, about maybe not necessarily the conspiracy? Because I mean, I think a lot of people are probably predicting we're going to be in Mars at some point in the 2030s. But what do you think with Starship's progress and, you know, maybe the overall geopolitical climate too? Because Mars is big.
SpaceX announced something at the launch that had me excited. They were going to next year, as we know, 2 weeks later, they're going to do Starship to Starship connection in space.
Oh, the refueling tests. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be huge. Because that's never been done before. Like two starships coming together. Oh.
I honestly think that has slipped underneath the radar a little bit, in my opinion, because that seems like monster news. And I think that is a giant step. So if we talk on the political stuff, and I could be very wrong. Like I said, ostrich in the sand. There's a lot of stuff I don't know.
I like that.
I think one thing that's going to be crucial is humans working together, like from different backgrounds, different countries. I'm not saying we all have to be brothers. We can just be mutual acquaintances and cuss about each other when we're talking to our friends. I think that's a big part of what we need to do, and seeing more of the peace talks and, hey, y'all quit fighting, and saying we're just done with the fighting. Honestly, I am cheering for that. I'm done with innocent people dying. I'm done with the leaders having, like dick shows. And
true though, yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Mine's bigger. No, mine's bigger. Mine's more powerful. Mine can do this. Like, shut the hell up. I think the fighting is essential, or the lack of fighting is essential.
Looked out of context right there. She's pro-war. No. No.
I honestly, other than that, I don't know what we need other than just more joint ventures.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea to be able to like use each other's resources would be great. Now, a lot of things, I mean, there's a lot of conflicting things that are happening. Well, people can take it as a conflict, but like the deportation thing, but then still trying to like, you know what I mean? So it's like, I could totally see where somebody's going to completely take that and just run with it. You know, like, oh yeah, you want peace, but you're just like mass deported people to Venezuela where they're getting killed and slaughtered. And then it's just like, it's a big mess. But at the same time, it's like we, as a country, just like every other country, we need to take care of ourselves first before we take care of other people. Dude, it's like we said in our last video, you know, Peacemaker Trump here, it's amazing to see the things that he's doing. And then, you know, especially with like this whole turn of events from like Elon not really caring for Trump, and then maybe even trying to like make amends after the whole Charlie Kirk passing. And, you know, like that says a lot, you know, about a person's character, to be able to put something aside and be like, you know, life is too short, you know, and to be squabbling over something so stupid. And, you know, even with Elon, you know, like he was spreading, he said that Charlie Kirk was spreading good and he was killed by the bad. And like I thought that was just like, to me, like, I don't know your take on Charlie Kirk, Martha, but like for him to have said something, like he just has like a sense of righteousness. And that's what I like about Elon.
I'll be for real. I had not heard of him
That was
before
like
he
my
died.
wife. You're not alone there. Don't
Before he
Yeah,
was
worry.
shot.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had Tesla AI girl on X. She messaged me and she goes, "I'm really upset Charlie Kirk got shot." And I'm like, "Who?" And she's like
Oh,
trying to tell me, and I'm like, "Who?" So I get on X, I'm at work, and I'm like, "Okay, like what's going on?" And I'm seeing, first, you see the far away video and I'm like, "Oh my God." And
oh
I'm looking
yeah.
at it with some of my coworkers and we're like, it looked like a chest shot the way we're talking about the way his body moved and
Mhm.
everything. And we're like, okay, that's near the heart, but okay. And then we saw the up close one.
That one's hard.
Oh
And
yeah. That
Uh,
one's rough. I almost thought it was
what?
AI generated. Like when we got it from a friend who honestly we didn't even think was very political or followed the guy at all. So
Yeah.
like when we got it, we thought it was him just messing
we thought
around
it
with
was
us.
a messed up troll, and then we quickly
Oh,
Yeah.
realized, no, this is real.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
It was nuts. It was
Yeah.
crazy.
And one of my coworkers, like the coworker beside me, we were looking at, we are going, oh, damn, we're like, oh my God, how do you
Your
react to
reaction.
this?
yeah, yeah.
Really, like, we were just like, the awkward things that you do and say, you're like, "That what's going on?" And so our other coworker, we're like, "Are you sure this is bad?" She goes, "No, no, I can do it." And she was traumatized. A couple hours later, it really hit me what happened, and I wasn't okay for the rest of the day. And then, I was seeing more of his videos of people were sharing, and I was like, damn, like, we needed more. He was, like, kind of what I'm usually, like, a middle ground person. I'm like, "Okay, you hate this and you hate this, but let's agree on something." That's just my personality.
Yeah.
And I saw him, for the most part, just talking to people, and, yes, he would sometimes raise his voice, but it was like, "Hey, you're gonna listen to me on this." And it was
Yeah.
middle ground. It was like, we're just gonna talk it out. And then, I saw somewhere. The one that really got me is he was telling a person that you just need to he's like, "I'm sorry you don't love yourself, and that's awful, and I want you to love yourself first." And I was like, "Oh my God." That's just
Yeah.
so important for humans. Every human needs to hear that.
Yeah, yeah, and I
So,
wish more people could see past, I guess, the veneer of their tribalism to actually see the way he really was. Because I mean,
yeah.
I disagreed with a lot of what he said on several topics, especially in the religious space. But I respected the hell out of the fact that he would actually go and have debate and discussion. And
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
kind of what relit the fire under my ass, me and this guy both, to get this back up, because that was kind of always the goal. Is because I mean, we don't agree on everything. Like, we have different beliefs in the religious space and the political space. I'm probably more center than you, Megan. Let me speak for you. Um,
Yeah, no,
but
definitely.
it's
Yeah.
I've and I know that I'm center just because I piss off the left and the right, just like Elon says. You're like, you're doing something right when you're pissing off both sides. I also have someone on the right think that I'm a libtard and someone on the left think I'm a MAGA bigot, and I'm like, well, I must be seated right in the middle where I belong. This is perfect. But yeah, it was inspirational in a very tragic way. There's some relief to me in seeing the way that he impacted the planet. A planetary scale is the way I described it when we were actually talking about his passing in our
Yeah.
episode following that. And I think we need that planetary unification, that planetary scale change where we grow up as a species and we realize
Yep.
that war is something for the primitive human. We're not a bunch
It
of
was so
primates
beautiful,
throwing
dude.
feces at each other anymore. We are civilized. We should be civilized. We can put things in space. We can cure diseases. I mean, we're
Mhm.
probably in the next 10 years going to figure out aging. And that is a rabbit hole that a lot of people won't be able to accept a lot of the times because of how that would sort of combat the religious place in the world and God's place in the world. And that's another part
Yeah.
of like future conversations that'll be a lot of fun, is like how to tackle the dilemma of mastering our own genetics and maybe being able to be traversing the stars and going for light years, but us having 1,000-year lifespans now instead of 100-year lifespans. There's so much,
Yeah.
but that takes what you said. It takes the planet coming together and growing the hell up. That's where I get cynical, because Trump is doing a lot of great things, but him and Elon are petty. Their human side is very petty.
They really are,
You know,
dude.
and leading
The
by
White House
example,
TikTok
like
got me so
leading
hard.
from the top. I see that in people like
Yeah.
Marco Rubio and JD Vance. JD Vance can still laugh, but he carries an air of professionalism. Gwynne Shotwell, the president of SpaceX, baller. She is incredible. She's really who
Yeah.
gets things done at SpaceX. And I love Elon, and I like a lot of what Trump's doing again, but there's the maturity at that level of
But no
popularity.
one's perfect.
Yeah, totally,
No one's
Yeah.
totally.
perfect.
The sombrero
Yeah,
memes were going nuts, dude.
I appreciate
Oh
the
my God,
comedy
I was
too.
like-
And then JD, he's like, I promise, if he just opens the government back up, I've already spoken to the president. The sombrero memes will stop. I loved it so much, dude. And he's just like, you got to be able to laugh. And that's,
I like
you know,
that.
to your point, like he's just really like, he's very professional, but he's like comical professional. Like he's just
He can read the
great. I
room.
love his deliveries. Oh yeah,
I mean,
without a doubt.
I don't know. I loved it when JD called that one dude dipshit.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, see, I don't think you need to be like super upper etiquette and decorum all the time by any means.
Yeah.
I love it when you can, you know, throw shade and be a troll and stuff. You know, like I enjoy, there's a part of me, like I love comedy. I love stupid shit. But
Yeah.
taking myself out of that though and realizing what's needed for us as a species to get out of our adolescent phase and maybe start becoming young adults as a collective human race. I don't know. That's going to take a lot of humility from a lot of the world leaders to start.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy, and it's not going to be overnight. And yeah,
Have either of you guys really noticed any impact? Because I mean, personally, I haven't noticed shit with the shutdown. Has it affected y'all at all? The government shutdown?
not for me.
Yeah, same.
Not
I'm
for
like,
me.
I'm over here like
Not
wondering,
even-
like, wow, if we're not feeling any problems, why the hell do we have a government?
Oh, you want to know something? Actually, so that's actually a good topic that we could talk about for a brief moment. So one thing that because I have a habit of talking politics even at work, and I know that that's probably like a big no-no, but
Spicy.
like because like so it's me. So I have my supervisor, then it's me who's like the team lead, and then we have like SMEs underneath us. So like there are times where we'll get like into a chat, and sometimes we just talk about the most random shit. So we all obviously are like on different parts of the world, or well, the continent in this case. So me and one other girl is in Florida, and then one of the girls is in Texas. My boss is in California, and then another buddy of mine is in Alabama. And so it's like, you know, like I started asking questions. I'm like, hey, listen, like I'm not trying to get political or anything, but I'm just kind of curious about like, you know, how is it over in California? Like, are they really having all these riots and like doing all this stuff? And like my boss will tell me like what's going on. And then like something that's been going around. I don't know if it's just because of the stuff that I've been watching on my feed, but I've been seeing a lot of like Muslim takeovers and like in Michigan and Texas. So one of the girls who lives in Texas, I asked her, I was like, hey, like, is this true? Like, is a majority of the population over there like Islamic or Islam? And she said, yeah. She goes, in fact, you know, my neighbors are, you know, Muslim and they follow the Quran and all this other stuff. And I was just like, oh, interesting. But to not to get too far off that, but like with this whole government shutdown, and whatever, I had made a comment about how Trump is using the tariffs that he's getting and the money that he's saved from Doge to pay our troops. And I thought that was really cool. Even with like the shutdown, he's still finding a way to pay them. And one of the girls actually says that her sister is in the military, and she says that she hasn't gotten paid. And she says that she hasn't gotten paid in quite a few weeks. So like almost a month. So I'm kind of like, huh, what's really going on? Is it like, does it stop at a certain level? Or like,
Active duty
do you
should
run
still
out
be
of
getting
funds?
paid. Is she reserve? Do you know? Or
She's no, she's active. She's
Oh,
active
shit.
duty. I don't know about USAA, but I do know Navy Federal has like a loan program for people that are not getting paid. Like they're going based off of their regular paycheck that they've been getting deposited, but they're like scheduled to pay it back after a certain point.
Oh, yeah. Okay. During a
Uh-oh.
government shutdown, active duty military personnel are required to continue working, but generally do not receive pay until a new funding deal or specific legislation is passed by Congress. They do receive full back pay once the shutdown ends.
Oh, damn, that's a
So everything they
check, bro.
missed comes back.
I'm really curious
Huh.
from your perspective, Cause, because you were in the military. You lived off base though, right? You were off base.
Well, both. It was the last like year and a half I was off base. But like prior 2.5, 3 years I was on base.
Okay, so for someone who's on base, like how would that really affect you? Because like you still get your meals. The only thing that you really probably couldn't do is like extracurricular activities like go out drinking and do shit like that, right?
Well, yeah, and also keeping in mind, like, if you don't have a little nest egg or some savings, if you've got gym memberships, phone bills, internet memberships, Netflix memberships, whatever the hell that would be coming out monthly, if you don't have enough put away to cover that, then yeah, you're gonna have some problems there. But if you don't have to worry about rent or utilities and stuff because you're living on base and barracks or on the ship, which I lived on the carrier, I always call it my most expensive shitty apartment I've ever had, multi-billion-dollar Warcraft carrier. It sucked to live on it. My gosh, it is not fun. But once you're off base, yeah, you'd be kind of screwed because rent or mortgage, like you're not getting your BAH, your housing allowance, or anything. That'd be
That's
scary. Actually,
crazy.
I did go through a shutdown while I was in, and I do remember it only lasted like maybe one paycheck though, if I'm right. Because I do remember there was like a break, like
Oh,
where
when
we did.
Trump was originally in office.
Yeah, I think
That's
so.
right.
Yeah. It was like toward the end of my service, I think. I remember it was like only, I swear it was only like one paycheck or something like that I missed. So I guess it was like a month maybe that was off. But yeah, no, we were okay because we had some, James and I, all of us had an apartment, together. So we were able to get through it. We had some extra money. But yeah, that's crazy. I don't know where I thought or why I thought that active duty was still getting paid.
I have a
Salaries
friend
are
in social
constitutionally protected.
services, like, she works for social services, like Medicare, Medicaid, like, doing the paperwork and stuff, and they were told that, "We have enough in the budget to keep you for a month, but after a month, we don't know what's gonna happen."
That's
That's
scary as
terrifying,
hell.
man.
Yeah, and so they're, like, saying, It's gonna be a month now," and I'm like, "Oh my god, please, please, please someone figure out something and, again, quit with the dick show."
I don't know how true this is. So like Kaz and I had talked about this before. At least this part of it. There's a lot of people in Arizona that are like filming themselves saying like since the government shut down, there hasn't, there's been clear skies, like we haven't had this, we haven't had that, having to do with like controlling the weather. And the planes with the the chemtrails and things like that, and how they
Oh
haven't
God,
had any
chemtrails.
tornadoes. Bro, yeah. So how they haven't had any like tornadoes or like hurricanes or anything like that. And it kind of makes you wonder because honestly, like since like in Florida, we're normally at this time we're getting smacked like back to back to back. So like, and I think before the government shut down, we had two that were out in the water, but since then
Mhm.
there hasn't been any. Kind of curious now, is this really like just a conspiracy? Like, are they really able to? Because I mean, think the way that I think about it is like if Elon's able to like do all this crazy shit that he's doing, like what's stopping the government from trying to do things on the backside, like control the weather and things like that?
Because
Because
they're not that
there's
smart.
just, I mean, yeah, yeah, that's fair, but I don't know.
What
It still kind of begs the question a little bit.
what was that one thing? It was like harp?
Harp,
Is that
Yeah,
harp.
one?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
They were thinking that
So
they created Helene and Milton and stuff. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, there's see, this is where my super nerdy side comes in and it just wants to sit everyone down and be like, "Stop it." No, the
Just gonna
most we've been able to do is create like a tiny bit of rain with our best cloud seeding technology. Like the amount of energy in a hurricane, even a small one, is more than 200 times our global production of power.
That's
Wow.
terrifying.
We can't make that. We can't move it. We can't go and push it. Like we can't do anything with it. So it's when you actually start to look into the amount of energy that's in something or what it would take to do something, that's where a lot of these conspiracies kind of fall apart. Because like things can seem intuitively sensible just because you're like, well, what if? And it's not expected that people on average are going to have deep understanding of the way Coriolis effects in clouds work or energy, entropy, all the science stuff that some of us are just geeked out on and just dive into because that's what we like. And unfortunately, there's a quote by Neil deGrasse Tyson that I loved that he's just like, we can already do some incredible things. Imagine if our planet as a whole was just 10% more scientifically literate. Because, I mean, a lot of the stuff that we learn in school, we dump. We don't use it in everyday life. You're not thinking about how to do factorials in your math class when you're doing your day job. You're not thinking about the way you break down molecules or how chemical bonds come together, or any of that stuff. It's just not part of your practical knowledge, so why would you hold on to it? So that, unfortunately, there's a growing disparity in those who kind of just generally know these things and can quickly be like, no, that's not how that works. Hang on, wait a minute. Kind of like with the way people were jumping left and right with, what really happened to Charlie Kirk. And it's drama, and it sells, and it gets the views. But it also kind of makes everyone throw their tinfoil hats on and go, all right, let's see how deep this rabbit hole goes. And
me, I'm
well,
one of those people.
and it can be fun too, though. Like I enjoy a bunch of conspiracy content through the lens of content creators that know the field and debunk it. Like Simon Dan with flat earth stuff. Professor Dave is a savage across the board with so many things, from like charlatans in the religious space, the nutrition space, the science space, all this stuff. Like the way he tore into RFK, which is probably one of the first times in the pod that I actually was like clearly not with the administration. A lot of things. I mean, like the as a quick aside, the chemtrail thing, like that's just not a thing. That's just condensation because of the heat coming out of the engines of airplanes, and it's like a rocket trail when it goes up. But people think it's like they're spraying us with chemicals. Why? What is the motive? Like what? Because it's fluorine and it's going to block our third eye and our pineal gland and control us because we can't, see what's really happening. I know it all because I also lived it all. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but like in my journey from being like pretty much in a cult in Christianity with Seventh-day Adventist, I swung hard the other way and I went Satanist. I went all the way. Spiritual Satanism, like getting into but it's like kind of like woo stuff, getting into chakras and meditation and the third eye and all of this crap, including like things about the Anunnaki and Planet Nine and all of these conspiracies. They are all like this net that all connect to each other. It's once you've heard one and you dive in, then you start hearing people talking about it online. You're like, oh yeah, no, I know what that is. I've been.
One that I really like now that you say Anunnaki is the Y-Files on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I love it. I mean, the goldfish is awesome, but like listening to him, he goes through it all and he tells the story as if it's true, and then he goes, okay, no, this is the real thing, or as much as we know about the real thing.
Yeah.
Which I love that.
Yeah, and I will suspend like definitives if I don't know something. I'll be like, I don't know. I don't think it's this, but I'm not going to say it couldn't be. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, it can't be that. Like, that's just as dumb because I can't prove a negative too. I can't say it's not this thing. I can just tell you that what you think is happening is actually this. Now, can this be another part of it? Maybe. I don't know. I mean, at that point, you're kind of like, well, we'll see. Like a lot of the UFO stuff and alien stuff, I share a lot of the same views as Elon and Neil deGrasse Tyson. They're like, if something is that intelligent and is here, we're only going to see them if they want us to. But there's this other funny part where Neil's like, if an alien goes across the entire galaxy to come see us on Earth and they crash into Madison Square Garden, I don't want to talk to them. They're stupid. They crashed. It's just great.
Hey, they didn't have FSD on.
I know. Yes, that's not. They didn't have their alien Elon Musk.
That's so funny.
Now, some conspiracies, though, eventually they just become reality. Like the COVID Wuhan leak that everyone thought people were just tinfoil crazy. And you're like, actually, no, we were messing with gain of function research and somebody messed up. And then COVID happened. And it was a shit show. And then there's still people that'll fight on both sides of that equation, too. So like some conspiracies just become reality. They just become the truth. Everything's a conspiracy until it's either proven right or wrong.
Yeah, I take most of them with a grain of salt. I'm like, that's the way I am with a lot of information. I'm just like, give me all the information. I'll store it away. I'll keep it in mind. And so if someone shows me something where it's like, oh, look, here's proof. I'm like, yes, I've heard that before. And I know this and this. Or if they show me the opposite, I'll be like, oh, yeah, I've heard this other thing. Kind of funny, ain't it?
But I love the curiosity, though. That's what I like about you, though, man. You're willing to wonder and think, like, what's up with this? But you're not the people that are like, they will find a conspiracy and then, like, it's their sports team and just be like, no, you're wrong. This is it. And they're, like, gonna go insane because they're so certain that they're onto this thing and nobody believes them. And that's where it gets kind of scary and unhealthy,
So there's only, like, two things that I kind of feel like it is like a legitimate thing. All right, so I'm gonna go with the less crazier one first. So the first one,
Oh.
so the first
No
one
balls.
is
No, I'm just
all
kidding.
right. So you know how? Okay, fine. Fuck you then. Dinosaurs really exist. They're still alive. That's the first thing.
Well, I agree with that.
Like,
Wait. Like, what do you mean? As in birds are evolved from dinosaurs, or as in there's a megalodon in the ocean?
there's no. Well, I mean, so we've only ever like explored like what 30% of our ocean, if that. Like,
There's a lot
so
we
I
don't
mean,
know. Yeah, there's some crazy shit down there.
the possibilities of a megalodon actually being out there could be very high. We just haven't explored it enough to see it. But like for me, I wouldn't say that like it's so this comes from, I can't remember. I think Kaz and I think we talked about this before, where there was like an explorer. He ended up stumbling across like he kept hearing like dinosaurs and stuff, and ended up finding like this area where it's an underground, it's literally like an underground world, where you know they have scientists but they have actual dinosaurs roaming, like real dinosaurs, like T-Rexes, things like that.
Sort of like
So
the
like
Hollow Earth theory in a way.
kind
Like
of,
Journey to the
yeah.
Center of the Earth?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's kind of what
kind
it
of.
makes me think
Yep.
of a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
So
Godzilla.
it's
The recent
like,
Godzilla movies kind of have that. You know, they kind of.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
But
really cool.
love that.
It's so cool.
yeah, there's that. I honestly, I could see it happening. I could definitely see dinosaurs still existing, you know, like underground and whatever. But another one for me that is like really intriguing is that there's pyramids in the Grand Canyon. Like that's one
I've
thing
never
that
heard
gets
that.
me. Dude,
I don't
I'm
think I've
telling you, like
actually.
if you ever go into like a rabbit hole on that, it's gonna go deep because it aligns with the pyramids. It's the same architectural structure as the pyramids of Giza.
Yeah, I've heard that about
Like,
like shapes on like the Mars and the Moon. Like people will try to make those claims, but or Antarctica. I've heard Antarctica because some of the edges and like people will see a picture
yeah,
and say like that kind of looks like that would be a pyramid or
yeah,
something. But I haven't heard about the Grand Canyon though. That's actually news to me.
Isn't
it's cool.
isn't there something with I think Stonehenge and a couple of those, like with how far they're apart, has the significance
Yes.
too?
I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay.
I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
So another thing too, like more towards like the pyramid side. So the reason why I brought that up is because there was a guy that had there's an entrance that's guarded, and they always called, or at least the person that was threatened to leave was met by men in black, is how he said it. So it's just like,
Galaxy
I mean,
Defenders.
dude, I'm telling you, man, there's a lot of shit in this world that we don't know.
Oh,
And I
100%. Yeah.
honestly, it wouldn't surprise me
Yeah.
if we did have pyramids in the Grand Canyon. Like I wouldn't doubt that at all. That'd be cool as hell,
And then I'd
bro.
be wondering, like, what were they for? Who were they of? Was it like some ancient, Native American peoples or something else? Like, that's where I start to want to nerd out and just know more about it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'll
Yeah.
always approach things with an air of skepticism, like grain of salt, just applied to pretty much anything that I hear. But I suspend disbelief is probably the way I want to say it. Like I don't want to just
Yeah.
close things off as like not possible because that's also really dumb. Because I mean, there's like an
Yeah.
arrogance that comes with that. Like you just know everything, so you're not going to be surprised, or there's no way
Yeah.
that's true. I haven't heard it. Like nah,
Yeah.
I'm curious though. You'll have to send me some links. That'd be cool. I mean,
Yeah. I'll definitely look some up.
well, we should go through it if you want to play this little game. You told me yours. I'll tell you mine. The biggest conspiracy that I think is probably very likely and terrifying is that we are in fact living in a simulation.
We are AI. We're AI creating
We're-
AI.
We're batteries.
I think even less than that. We're just NPCs, bro, in some alien simulation that they're running.
That's
Oh my god.
Like if you get a chance to think about simulation theory, the quick, dirty, and ugly of it is that look at video game tech now. The fact that we can simulate worlds. Just simply imagine that we get to a point to where it's so lifelike that you wouldn't be able to discern it from reality. Now imagine
Yeah.
the age of the universe, and then how long we've been here, and the likelihood that another species has already done that. What's more likely,
Yeah.
that we are the first to maybe ever potentially do it, or that we're just one of many programs of older species that have been here longer than we have?
Didn't Tyson talk about this too? Like,
Tyson,
yeah,
Elon,
yeah,
a lot
that
of
was,
them, yeah. When I heard it,
that's
I was like,
insane.
oh damn, I just hope this isn't the one where the bad
Why?
guys win. It's like,
Yeah.
who's running this simulation?
I know, right? Free your mind.
What about you, Martha? You have
I
any
think
conspiracies?
I think mine would be on the lines of back to like the pyramids, Stonehenge, Easter Island, all these things. No machine, and yet they were made. Like,
Yeah.
um, what's his name? Cyber Farmer on X, like his name's at Ryzen or something like that. He has a lot of these that he shares, and I love it. But
Oh yeah,
yeah, he'll find these
yeah, I
videos,
followed him.
and he'll find these videos of like these with like marble or this really really hard stone, and is like perfectly carved. And it's like
Yeah,
how So I I'm in the mind of what we have now is we were kind of leftovers. We were kind of left behind. So funny thing, did you ever watch Stargate SG-1?
Yeah, it's been a while, but yeah.
yeah.
Okay. One of my favorite things they ever said was when they did the whole Wormhole Extreme episode, the episode within an episode kind of thing,
Yep.
that
Yeah.
the whole sci-fi genre pretty much, or at least that show, was plausible deniability. So that's why the Air Force let them keep doing the show, because even though they were spilling secrets, oh, it's plausible deniability. If anything, crazy happens, some interdimensional bug gets loose again, we go, oh, you learned it was from the show, ignore it. So I'm like, holy crap. The pyramids were landing platforms, and that we like the aliens that were using us pretty much they bailed. There's an uprising and they bailed. So again, it's a TV show, I know, but like, how else were the stones for the pyramids moved? And I'm sure someone has figured it out. And then there's that imagery of the pyramids now where they show how deep it actually goes under the ground. And the
The architectural structure underneath all that too is
yes,
just so
yes.
precise.
And then the Incas and the Mayans, and I mean, a triangle or a pyramid is not a unique shape to Egypt, but still, there's just so much about it. And one of the things, again, a movie, I know it's fiction, but that I loved about AVP, Alien versus
Yeah,
Predator,
I was gonna bring that
was
up.
that
Yes, I'm so glad you did.
that pyramid
Yep.
had multiple civilizations to it. And like one thing I always thought personally about religion is there are so many elements that are so similar. Like I haven't deep dived into that, but just at a high level, I think there's a lot of them that are so similar to each other. I'm like, I feel like Pangea, all of that was legit. And we were all started
Yes,
around or
thank you
close
for
to
that.
one spot,
Mhm.
Yep.
and it spread. Like think about it this way. As far as we know, best we can tell, the Americas were empty. And then they came across the bridge,
Mhm.
the ice
The
bridge,
Bering Sea, right?
and
Yeah.
yes. And then so that's the Inuits, and they came down, and then we have the Native Americans, and then we have the Incas and Mayas, Aztecs, all of them. And it spread down from there. So that means, okay, it didn't start here in America, so it started over here. So there was a starting point.
Mhm.
And I think that's where we were ditched pretty much. We were left as a civilization.
Oh,
So
that's
that's mine.
interesting. And I like too, if you notice in AVP, how they sort of allude to the fact that the predators were sort of deities. They taught us how to hunt, how to build, how to do the things, and that's a common theme shared in a lot of sci-fi and sci-fi history. It's also shared in Zachariah Sitchin's books, especially like Planet Nine and the Anunnaki ordeal and everything about these beings that came and basically created us and used us as a labor force, and their planet were having trouble. There's so many of these stories that are so fascinating, and it kind of makes you wonder.
So I have a question for you, Cuz.
Okay.
When the Model Y performance? I know
Oh,
we talked about it a smidge on X, but
2 weeks.
when? Ah.
Oh, oh man, I want it. I want it so bad. I've got I went kind of in the hole a bit with getting the real estate license. It was expensive, and
Yeah, yeah.
it set me
That's an
back, and
investment.
yeah, it dipped into my debt to income ratio a bit more than I'd like. So I mean, to make the Model Y happen, I've got to either get Mew paid off or get that down payment in and get some debt to income back clear so my credit starts to go back up again, because I want performance. I want Mewtwo to be the performance Model Y. And I
Yep.
really want to treat myself with that and be able to do like track content, just not to mention version 14 FSD, which is a whole different thing, but I really want to get on the racetrack and get into the like sport driving side with the Tesla too. I think that'd be so much fun.
That would be
Uh,
cool.
my goal is to have it next year. I just It really depends on how I can hopefully spool up this real estate business, because if I can get a couple of listings going and start just knocking out some bills and start building up a down payment for it, then we're golden. But right now I'm kind of like just trying to get by, keeping the content flowing for several channels and live streaming now. I don't know why I have to take so many bites out of a pie. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was
when Mugen gonna get
yeah.
Tesla? Come on.
So I honestly I don't know, because me and my wife are trying to get into a house first.
Yeah,
So
smart.
that was one of our biggest priorities. But
I know a guy that can help with
definitely
that.
I know,
I know a realtor.
fuck that guy. No, but once we do get into a house, that is probably going to be one of the first things that we do.
Okay.
Truthfully though, I mean, me and my wife, we both work from home, so it's not like a huge necessity for us right now. Plus we
Yeah.
both drive Hondas, and everybody knows how reliable a Honda is, especially ours, because they're older ones. They're not even newer. I drive a '07 Civic SI, and then she has a 2003 CRV that's four-wheel
Okay,
drive,
yeah.
and it's so much fun, dude. But
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, so I mean, we take those little boogers every once in a while, and but I mean, we really don't go anywhere during the week unless it's to go out to go get food, or maybe a couple of things to go shopping, but that's it. So I mean, if I were to buy a Model Y right now, it would just be so redundant, and it would just be like the biggest driveway paperweight. Like, they're cool, but I mean, it's just financially, it wouldn't be a smart move for me right now. Thank you so
Well,
much for taking the time out of
thank
your
you
day
guys.
to be on here
Yeah.
with us. It was cool.
Thank you for
Yeah,
being
thank
our
you.
guinea
Thank
pig
you
too.
for
Yeah,
yeah,
thanks,
Testing out and
guys.
having
seriously.
a guest. Anybody who wants to check out Martha's page, she is on X. That will be linked in the description below. So go give her a follow and see what she's getting into.